Here's an ironic twist on the tradition of parents buying toys for their children. Nowadays, at my age, the children buy toys for their parents. And 2 years ago, they bought me this Sony camera, which is modeled after the GoPro. And this year, Chuck bought me this Rube Goldberg device here, which allows the camera to be easily affixed to a bicycle helmet. And it's this bicycle helmet and this GoPro attachment that I wore in the Catskills on the Catskills Scenic Trail last week. It was altogether successful for what it was designed to do, but I didn't get the best pictures because I inadvertently had my head down too much watching the rough terrain and cut off the heads of the subjects I was aiming at. Next time, I should do better. For our bicycle trip this spring, we drove clear across the state to a little crossroads on Route 23 called Grand Gorge. Grand Gorge is nestled in the middle of the Catskills near the headwaters of the Delaware River. May 28th, Saturday, 2016. We're in Grand Gorge at the Colonial Motel. Here's Route 23 coming up from the south. Across the street, the cemetery, and north on 23, the center of this thriving metropolis. We're here to ride the scenic Catskill Trail, or Rails to Trails, with Frank and his sister Grace and brother-in-law Tom, and we should be going in about an hour. We've come up a considerable distance west of Grand Gorge and uphill to find the unimproved scenic trail. And we'll follow that, we think, to Stamford.
Are we ready?
Yes. So far this trail is plenty rough and my tail is taking a beating. I'm sure this is what they call.
I'm sure this is.
They call this an unimproved trail.
Right here and we're going to let go.
See what happens to the
It'll wipe us all out. Go. Let her fly.
All right.
The guillotine.
Maybe we could cycle under it.
It's a little easier riding where they've removed some of the ties. A few tenths of the mile, the rails had been removed, but not the ties.
And that was murder to ride on, wasn't it?
Little bumpy.
I figure this trail is primarily adapted for snowmobile use.
All right. Vote Trump.
Once we got past the rough patch between Route 10 and Route 23, things smoothed out a bit. Here's where we crossed 23.
Grand Gorge.
Well, this is not the spirit of Walton or the spirit of Grand Gorge, but certainly the spirit of Delaware County, headwaters of the famous Delaware River. And there's a clear path ahead.
This looks like it's been more utilized.
I think so too. We may be on the improved section now.
It's a little bit easier riding when they've removed some of those ties.
Here's a beaver dam we encountered. Tom thinks it may have been here for quite a while because the reservoir here looks a little depleted. Well, Tom has found a beaver lodge, we think, right out there. As we approached Stamford in a refreshing lunch and refreshments on the deck of a cafe, the landscape opened up and we traversed farmers' lush fields.
Hi-ho for Stamford.
Almost there.
I hope.
On the return ride, we were surprised to learn that we'd been pedaling uphill all the way to Stamford. So on the return, we enjoyed a boost from gravity. In the afternoon, Tom and Frank wanted to press on to Roxbury. I tagged along, but I did not take any movies. I ended the day a little the worse for wear, but supremely satisfied with the day's activities.